Bring it up. We back at it. Back at it. We back at it, bitch. Fuck your mama, don't snitch. Look, there's some things that has been on my mind, man. And I'm like, yo, I was watching this dude. I don't know who this dude is, but it seems like he does like I said, I don't know who these nutsacks are. I just be watching random like YouTube channels, and I just be coming across some shit, and I'm like, who was homeboy? I don't know, but when I was watching this dude's video, he was talking about zombies, and I'm like, for the love of all that is holy, would people stop talking about this zombie shit and all this post-apocalyptic garbage? It just seems like the people that talk about this shit, like this post-apocalyptic stuff, it's like this is how they want to see the world, because they feel like the world is leaving them behind or something. So they like everything has to be burned to the ground because they're unhappy with their miserable lives. But it's like the whole zombie genre has been done to death. And anybody, I don't give a fuck who you are. If you keep talking about this zombie shit, then you're just a cornball, bro. I don't give a fuck who it is. Cause it just seems like it's too many things that I see about the zombie genre that's 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 questionable, I should say. First and foremost, from what I gathered, I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm like right on this. The whole zombie thing back in the day, they were supposed to be a bunch of black people because they were like Haitian zombies or some shit. I may be kind of like the history may be a little skewed, but it has something to do with the Haitians and black people. So that's first and foremost. And then now when you keep talking about like the other like the zombies of the others and stuff, I know what that's supposed to symbolize and what type of dog whistles that's supposed to imply. And so I'm like I said, it's just the genre's trash. And the people that's constantly talking about the shit is trash. I'm like, just come up with something else, bro. But like I said, they won't because I'm again, they have these feelings about the others, and then you see the shit in all these video games. You know, like the Days Gone and the Plague Tales Innocence, and instead of rats, I mean instead of zombies, they use rats, and like the Division to a certain degree. I mean, it's not a zombie apocalypse, but like the hyenas act like zombies. You know what I'm saying? It's a post-apocalyptic world. I mean, how many times we gotta keep seeing that shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, these studios and these movies, these game companies have no creativity. They keep doing this shit, and I'm like, even with even with the whole thing, and I'm not gonna sit up there and be like, oh, this particular thing is instead of you can't call them zombies. You gotta call them freakers. It's like, bitch, they're nothing but zombies. And then you got bloaters, clickers, freakers, screamers, bloaters. Like, what's up with the ER shit at the end? You know what I'm saying? Like, that goes to like no creativity. Like, they're gonna be crushers next. Like, come on, dude. Like, it's just trash. It's just trash. And mind you, all these games that got that zombie shit, I've never played. The only one that's close to the shit is the Division 2, and I regret playing that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's just 100% trash. and you got like mad people just always making like talking about it. Like when people start talking about zombies, I'll be rolling my eyes. And it just seemed like after World War Z, a movie I didn't watch, but after World War Z, it was like zombies start becoming faster to try to get people. Because they weren't fast prior to that movie. It seemed like they started being fast after that. Because everybody saw it, they latched onto it, and since these nutsacks have no creativity, they just all ran with it. And so I'm like, it's just 100% trash, man. That anybody talking about that shit, like every it's like every game wants some zombie thing. Like didn't one of the cold what's it called? One of them what is it called? That Modern Warfare game that just came out or whichever they got some zombie shit, I think. It's just like with all that whole stealth mechanic bullshit is trash. Like I keep saying, there's hiding in tall grass, throwing something to distract the enemy. Like, come on, dude. Like, one dude did it. That may have been cool and innovative. The second person that copied the shit, okay, I see where you're getting it from. But now you got so many people doing this shit. Now it cheapens the mechanic, and it's just now you look like garbage. You know what I mean? Because you can't come up with something else besides that. And so I'm like, dude, just stop with that whole bullshit, man. It's trash. It's unbecoming. It's corny. I don't want to hear that shit. You know what I mean? Real thing. You know what I mean? But these nutsacks ain't gonna learn the lessons. Nobody learns lessons. Nobody learns the lessons these days. But since we on the topic of learning lessons and corny shit, it's like, okay, see, that's what's up though. Let's go back. But yeah, since we on the topic of that shit, it's just like somebody sat up there and was like, what did they say? They said in some video, they said Cyberpunk wants the community's feedback to make their game better. Now I remember a while back, a company, which is Rockstar, said the same thing. They want the community's feedback for Red Dead Redemption 2 online beta. I remember that. And oh, how quickly we forget how that was. Now, before I get too involved into that, this is what I don't get. Well, this is how it is. I'm gonna say this. If the community wants option B, but the company is going with option A internally, the company already has option A in mind, so they're going to go with option A. People that wanted option B are left out in the cold. Now, if the company presents people with option A and B, but internally the company was going with option B, and the community wanted option B, when the company comes out with it, it's going to give people a false sense of democracy, saying like, oh, the companies are listening to us because they went with option B. But they already had option B planned from the start. Now, when Cyberpunk says we want feedback, people have been telling them from day one to put third person in. I was one of them 2 years ago, made a LeBron James meme telling people, it's on my Instagram, is Brogito 30, is Brogito D36. It's on Instagram. I was telling people to put third person into the shit. And you spell Brogito Brogetto, the letter D36. Anyway, so I was telling people, put in third person. They didn't. And so now everybody's saying they should have put third person in because our characters look janky. So, Red Dead Redemption did the same thing. Everybody has been asking for passive mode. Did they implement that in Red Dead Redemption? No, they didn't. They gave people a defense and offense option, which is not the passive mode from GTA 5. It does not take you long to implement that code because all you have to do is copy and paste the shit from one game to another. They did that with the police. GTA, look at the police. They just spawn down the street like they got ESP. They know where you go, what street you're going to. So they just spawn basically right in front of you. The cops do the same thing in Red Dead Redemption. So that goes to tell me that they copied and pasted shit from one game to another so they could copy and paste the same program to make your character transparent. But they didn't. And that's what the community wanted. That's the feedback they wanted. They want people with the feedback. They got it and still didn't do anything. So they might implement third in Cyberpunk because it's not like they don't know. It's not like they haven't seen that mod in third person. So for PC, so they know. But I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't put that in there. So hearing that whole community shit, they're not learning the lessons. They're not learning the lessons. And then even if, before I even get to the whole not learning lessons, please tell me this. GTA, this is kind of going to what I'm saying. Oh, this is going into what I'm saying. GTA, a game that came out, GTA 5 came out September 17th, 2013. When you look at your character's shadow, whatever hair they have, you see it in the shadow is the same in the character. Whatever the character has on, the silhouette of the shadow is the same thing. Please tell me when you in Cyberpunk, when you look, for me, maybe it's buggy or maybe it's universal. I don't know. But please tell me when I look at my character, when I look down and the sun is casting a shadow, please tell me why I got a bald-headed shadow. Please explain to me why I got a bald-headed shadow on my character. I got a female V. She got long hair, but the bitch is bald-headed. Where's the sun and the casting the shadow of the hair? Where is that at? So I'm like, come on, dude. I don't get this game. Like I said, I'm glad I got my money back. I'm glad I got my money back. Cause this shit is just absurd. That game is absurd. Because look, say if I was gonna have an online game, say if my shit was online. Well, okay, let me say this beforehand. The first MMO game I played was Terra. I couldn't get the grasp of Terra. I wanted to play Blade and Soul, but I didn't have a computer at the time, so it's like, damn, I wish they could put that shit on console. So later down the line, they put in Black Desert. I didn't play Terra long. I may have gotten to like level, I don't remember. I didn't play it long. But when Black Desert was the other game I wanted to play. I was like, yes, if they don't put Blade and Soul, well, Black Desert is the second choice. I got into Black Desert. I was like, oh shit, because everybody kept talking about how expansive their character creator is, and I'm like, because they were saying you could just buy the character creator alone and be cool. So it was like, yeah, dude, that shit is, because I like character creation, hence me making my own shit. So I'm like, look, this is out of all the games that I could create a character on, from Saints Row, GTA to this Monster Hunter, this is the best character creator I've seen. How come other games are not taking that and using the template for their shit? Like Cyberpunk, why is your character creator so lackluster in this late date? Why? You can't change the body type. You can't do nothing. Why? Why is your shit? Why? Saints Row did a better job, and Saints Row came out like Saints Row the third came out. What was that? November 5th, 2011, and you can't do a better character creator. What? 9 years later? Like I just don't get it. Like Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs 2 came out 2016, I think in November maybe 2016. GTA came out 2013. You can't Watch Dogs 2, you could only select male characters when you had Satara as the female template, or you could use other chicks from the world. How come we just gotta be stuck with the dude character? That makes no sense when you had a game that came out 3 years before you do a better job. And then you had one prior to that with Saints Row that did a better job. I just don't get it. Then you got like people keep talking about car chases. There are no car chases in Cyberpunk. But you could go back to GTA 1 and 2 that came out 97 and 99 that did a better job with car chases, and it was top down. Like, I just don't get these game companies. If I had a company, if I had a game and it was an open world, I would have had a character creator. Even if the minimum would have been just like Black Desert, but I would have made it more expansive. I would have had car chases if you know that would be the thing. I would implement all my favorite shit and just make it my own. It's like these nutsacks want to be like somebody, but then they don't want to be like somebody at the same time. I just don't get it. I just really don't get it. That's how I would have made my shit. But these characters, these game companies seem like they never learned a lesson. They don't. I understand that you want to do your own thing, but then don't try to be like the thing. Like it's like, just say if it was like, I want my shit to be like, I want Final Fantasy. I want materia. I want the big marbles, and you put it in your weapon. I want to be like Final Fantasy. But then when I come out, it's like you could see I wanted to, but then it's completely garbage. Like, what is this? Like instead of feet, like the marbles, it would be like little shapes. Like it would be like the moon. It'd be like a round moon, but it had like little craters into it so it could fit in the weapon. Then it would be like a star shape, like triangles, a crescent moon shape, and each like one, like it would be like the crescent moon shape would be this thing. It'll do something. The full moon would do something else. The star represented like black magic or something. You know, like the crescent moon would be like healing spells. It'll be something. It'll be something like that. And it's like, okay, you're like Final Fantasy, but you're putting a new spin on it or something. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be like this half-ass lackluster shit like I wanted to be but didn't. It's like, stop, bro. If you're gonna, like I said, there's nothing wrong with taking inspiration from somewhere because nothing is new under the sun, except for me. But but it's like you gotta do you gotta do something right. Like it's like you keep dropping the ball on certain shit. Like GTA 6, they're online, and then here's the thing about GTA on, well, I would say Red Dead Redemption online. Why are you asking for community's feedback as if this is the first time you're making online, bro? You already had GTA 4 that you built upon that made GTA 5. Now here you come with Red Dead Redemption. It's like, oh, I don't know what we doing. What are we doing here? This is like, oh, this is our first time. No, it's not. You already have experience. You have the money and manpower, but you were screwing up. Like, why are you asking for community feedback? But okay, you ask for community feedback. People want passive mode, but you give nobody passive mode. And then you keep nerfing shit, or you take away, like everybody had that fishing thing that people was fishing and making money. Like you took that away. I'm pretty sure the community wasn't like, they didn't say, oh, we don't want the fish thing, take this away. They was all getting the money and they was living good. But it's like the community didn't say take this away, but you did it anyway. You was like, fuck that, fuck what the community gotta say. So I'm like, all these game companies, they be lying to people, and then people be sitting up there like still co-signing them, like, oh, I mean, we still gonna play it though, we mad. Like I said, I haven't played Red Dead Redemption, damn, I can't even remember how long. Like when they first did the online shit and it was beta, I played it for a few days. I stopped and didn't come back to it until they implemented like that bounty hunter shit. I played that for a little while and I said, fuck this is too boring. And then I was playing it with a friend for a few days, but it's just hard getting into. It's just hard getting into. And like I said, then they force these companies to grind. Like everybody is on this grinding shit. I'm tired of the grinding shit, bro. I mean, when you talk about grind, that shit is whack. Cause you basically trying to keep the player into your game as long as possible. Keep grinding that same bullshit, like all that RNG, what's called random number generator, like, like this random loot drop. Some loot don't drop. It's like 0.01% chance the shit drops. Like that shit is garbage, bro. The shit is garbage. Just make a lot of shit for people to get, so you don't have to run into the problem of people that they gotta keep grinding the shit. You know what I mean? It's just I'm just tired of it, man. I'm just tired of the shit. And but people keep falling for it every time. It's just people keep falling for the shit every fucking time. And I'm like, and people whine about the shit. But see, like I'm not whining about this shit because, like I said, I'm not involved in it anyway. So I'm like, fuck it. That's the community that gotta suffer. Cause I know better. I'm like, I'm not doing this. You know what I mean? That whole grinding culture, that shit is trash. There's a lot of things in the video game industry that is trash, but they keep doing it anyway. Like escort missions, that shit is trash. Grinding, that shit is trash. Um, the timer, like you gotta do shit in the time limit, and you gotta do a lot of stuff. And these games nowadays don't give you no time to do the shit. Like they make you like, it's like whatever you're doing that has to be in the time limit, it's like they make it so where you got 30 seconds to spare, but you got all this shit that's happening where it makes it so hard. And it seems like the people at these studios don't be like, yo man, like let's not do this to the player. But it seems like if they do say something, they might get fired. So that's fucked up. Like what are the things that's trash? The grinding is trash. There's a lot of things in these video game companies that people are tired of, but they don't care. They're just gonna keep doing it anyway because they think it's cool for people to do this shit. And it's not cool to do this shit, you dumb bastard. This shit is corny. Like you've been doing these same tropes to death after 20 some odd years. Like, okay, figure something else to do. Stop with the hiding in tall grass and throwing shit to distract enemies. That shit is lame. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a video that was talking about this shit. It's just like a whole bunch of other shit that's just so lame in these games. Oh yeah, stop with the weapon durability shit. Like you be fighting or you have something, you fight a monster. Like Monster Hunter is that was the first time I ever experienced this shit. I was like, this is dumb. Like you fighting a monster, you already taken off very little HP off the monster. But then you gotta stop and sharpen your weapon and then looking at it because it's shining. But then there's certain things that you upgrade your character where you don't have to. It doesn't take you that long, but the fact that you put that in the game is trash. I was watching this chick play Days Gone and they did that shit, I think. Now where you gotta recraft the weapon, stop. The crafting shit is stupid. Like you got people like, cause it just feels like a chore. It feels like hard work. And you want people that don't do hard work in real life to do hard work in a game. Trash. Just trash. Just utter trash, bro. Stop having people do this shit. Come up with something else. Some of the other things in the video that they made, it wasn't really that big of a deal for me, but because some of the stuff, like, you can't really escape certain stuff. You know, like these choices in video games, but the thing was, like, you gotta have a choice, like, you do choices that mean something. And it's like, I get that. But some of the other stuff, it's trash. Like, that whole weapon durability where your shit be breaking, I'm like, nope. Monster Hunter was cool, but then I stopped playing Monster Hunter after that. Like, cause I just got tired of the whole, like, the bad guy can hit you like 2 times and kill you, but you gotta hit the dude like 1,000 times, and the battles be taking like 40 something minutes. It's like, it's trash, bro. It's trash, 100%. I'm not saying that. I mean, if you like these games, that's cool on you. But it's just like I'm just getting too old for this shit to be keep doing the rat race type thing. Like even with the Division, like trying to get these loot, and it's like even hearing, like, there was this one chick I used to watch. She kept saying like, "Ooh, loot, 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 loot." I'm like, bitch, you ain't no fucking pirate. Stop saying that shit. It just sounds stupid. I'm telling you, it's just something wrong with these folks, man. There's just something wrong with them. I don't know what's wrong with them, but there's something wrong with them. And they sound ridiculous. So I'm like, the game industry gotta change. But the game industry ain't gonna change because they stick to a formula like they think works, and they just keep going with it. It's not like you changing anything about the shit. Side missions, same thing. The whole fetch quest, same thing. There's a way to get around it, but they don't do it. I mean, they literally don't do it. And you have like you got the means to pull it off, but you don't do it. And I keep bringing this dude up in my videos, but I don't know his name. I just know he had glasses. He had, I think, a brown suit. And he was saying, like, the video game industry is hard because we heard all the ideas, so it's hard to try to give us a new idea for us to like get behind. But see, but you haven't heard or seen everybody though. You know what I'm saying? Like if you came to me, oh, I could tell you how to get around the fetch quest. I could, because I'm basically, I'm not, I mean, I'm creating the game, but in my shit, oh, there's a way to get around the side. There's a way to get around that. Like the whole fetch quest shit, there's a way. But I'm not gonna tell nobody nothing. So you gotta come holler at me. I can tell you how to get around it and tell you how to do it real well. You see what I'm saying? But again, these dudes, they be doing all the shit. It's like tried and true. So they're not gonna change. They're not gonna change this shit because they're doing what they know. You know what I mean? They are not gonna change. They're gonna keep doing the same shit over and over again. Now let me see something real quick. See, yeah. I don't want to hear no shit. I'm gonna duplicate this jacket, and then what are we gonna do? Oh yeah. Like I said, there's just something wrong with these dudes, man. But like I said, I know how to get around that whole fetch quest shit. I don't care how long it take me to make my game. But I'm never telling anybody how to get around it. So whatever it is, you could be like, oh, how you do it? I'm not telling nobody. It's like, oh, you don't know how to do it then. Yes, oh, yes I do. Cause I already wrote the script for the shit. Like I'm like what, mission 50 in my the first game, and there's a way to get around it. And it's real easy. But see, but these dudes that be making these games ain't nutsacks, man. And they don't want to change. But that's what I'm saying, man. That's exactly my point. I'm like, bro. And you know what? There was something else I wanted to say, but I'm a hold back. I might do that video tomorrow. But it's just about these excuses that people are giving. No, but you know what? You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. But wait, before I do, I need to think about like what I'm doing right now. Hopefully this, I might have to put more like subdivisions in this, but maybe not. Let's see. But it's just like the video game industry needs to get revamped, man. It's it's just too much predictable shit. But again, these dudes, they don't want to hear nothing new. Because it's like if you hear something new, it's going to seem foreign to you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not what they're used to or accustomed to. So they're going to reject the idea until they see. Like, say if it was like say if it was me, and I came to some dude and I was like, okay, blah blah blah, whoop de whoop. They'd be like, oh no, because that's a strange idea. Something that was the first dude. Now I go to the second dude, and it's like, okay, this is how this should go. And he was like, oh, okay, that's a good idea, and they implement it, and then we do it, and that's how it is. It's out there. The first dude would look at what we did and was like, damn, and then he would start copying off of the shit because now he sees it in action. So it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, That's just how the cookie crumbles. They don't want to take a chance on new shit because it's not what they're used to, or don't think it will sell. You see what I'm saying? But see, I'm that dude. I'm that dude. I'm telling you. But anyway, I did what I had to do real quick. This may be a quick video. I'm trying to crank these shits out, and as of right now, I'm done. But I know the next video I'm gonna make a different bat for a character's weapon. But as of right now, I'm out. But the video game industry gotta change, man. It's just too much shit, man. Anyway, I'm out. Money over stink holes.